Now we're going to discuss how to change a master code, how to add a user code, and how to add the Duress code that we like to put on all of the panels. So the first thing, on these panels, everything that you do is your 4-digit code and then a command. And your commands are all written on each of these buttons here. So for example, when we do a code, what we're going to do is our 4-digit master code, and then we're going to press the number 8, which is the code button, and then we're going to type in the user number that code pertains to, and then we're going to type in the new code. So for a master code, and this is specific to a master code, our current master code is 1234. So what we're going to do is press 1234, 8 the code button, 02, which is specifically for the master code, and then we're going to type in our new master code 2 times. So here it goes. So 1234, 802, 1122, 1122. And that's now the new master code. Now there's another way to do that without the master code. You being the installer can actually, if you have the installer code, you can change it without having to know their current master code. You would do that by doing your installer code, which right now is 4321, and then you would do 802, and then you would type in the new master code, whatever that may be, just one time if you're doing this with your installer code. So 4321, 802, and I'm going to change it back to 1234. Okay, so now 1234 works for us. Okay, so let's say I want to add a user code. I like to start my user codes at user number 5 just because user 3 is a partition master code, and I just feel like it's a good spot to start with your next user code. So we're going to add another code for, let's say, one of the kids at the house. So you would have to have, in this case, the master code. So you're going to do master code, the code button, and then user number 5, so 05, and then the code that you want to pertain to that. So 1234, 805, and we're going to make this code 7777. Now this has a timeout. If you stop the keystrokes for more than 2 seconds, then it's not actually going to work for you. So you have to do it fairly quickly. So now if I do the code that I just put in, 7777, oh wait, that works. And then the last thing that we need to do, and this is really important, is program the Duress code. Now to program the Duress code, you have to have the current master code. And if you don't have the current master code, then you can do what I just showed you. You can use the installer code to change it to a code which I always use 1234 since that's the default anyway. So right now it's 1234, and here's the cycle that you would go through. So you're going to do 1234, the code button, user 32, and then the Duress code 2580. Okay, so that puts the code in, but that's not going to send any signals to the monitoring station because it's not authorized as a Duress yet. So to authorize it as a Duress code, you do the following: 1234, user 32, and then you're going to do #13. And that now has it as a Duress code. And you can actually hear the panel if you're able to hear this. If I do the Duress code right now, you can hear it click. Okay, and then I could press off or whatever command. But you hear that click because the panel is now picking up the phone and dialing immediately because you typed in that Duress code.